If your solos don't sound country, you're probably missing one ingredient. I noticed it all over the solo from Good Times and Tan Lines by Zach Top. Check it out. So the thing I noticed about this solo was the use of double stops. So a huge portion of the solo is built off that concept. And what I want to show you today is the double stop scale and how to apply it to your own solos. So the first thing we need to do is find well, we're in the key of D. We need to find our D major chord starting on the A string, okay? So that looks like this. So we just have our D major bar chord there, starting with the A string. It's at the 5th fret, so we have 5, 7, 7, 7. And then we also need to figure out how to move that shape to this shape, our D chord starting on the 10th fret. Looks like this. So we're going to connect those two parts of our chord by using passing tones, and that looks like this. So we have, starting on the 7th fret, so that's the beginning of our double stop scale. We can even extend it and go below where we started, like this. So once we've connected those two shapes, we have the skeleton of our double stop scale, and we can add little embellishments and other notes on top of that to make it really work. The most important thing too, after we get that, is to add some bass notes to really give it some oomph. And that can sound like this. So what you're doing is you're taking 2 frets above it on the A string. So if we're starting on the 5th fret, you take the 7th fret on the A string. If we're starting on the 7th fret, you take the 9th fret on the A string. So once again, this was our starting point, right? And then we went up to this shape, we would add. And I'm plucking with my middle and my ring finger on the high strings and using my pick for the low strings. It's called hybrid picking. So then you can do stuff like this. So that's kind of how you apply the double stop scale over one chord. Now the beauty of guitar is we can take these shapes and just copy and paste them over the 4 and the 5 chord. And some chords even work better than Ds. For instance, the 4 chord in this song is G, and we see him use that over the G in this song in the solo. Now, once again, you got to use your formula. How do we find out where the double stop scale is? We have to. What I like to do is I like to start with that major chord shape, and let's find it for G. So our A is in the bass. Or our G, our bass note starts on the A string, is what I'm trying to say. So we have our G chord right here, starting on the 10th fret. So it's the same shape, just moved up to a G, with our bass note in the A string. And then you can just build the thing that we just learned from there. So we're connecting these two shapes, both Gs. The lick that he does in the song is this. You're probably saying, well, we did all this stuff up here, how does he get down there? Well, the G actually works really great over here too. So if we build that from here, we have our G chord. We can go down, add these passing notes, and then we've arrived at that other G shape, but instead of approaching it from below, we're approaching it from here. So G has a huge range. You can even go all the way to here. D is a little bit more compact. You could go up here if you wanted to. It gets pretty high up there as well. The beauty is it also works over the 5 chord. So we've got our 5 chord, which is A, and you would do the same thing. We find our major chord built off the A string. We have those two neighborhoods. You could even do it up here. So now you've got 3 different neighborhoods where you can apply this scale and shape. So I want to show you how to do that over the changes for good times and tan lines with my own solo. Check it out. So that's what the concept sounds like when you apply it over the changes of good times and tan lines. And I really like this idea because you don't have to memorize a bunch of licks. You just memorize, your scale, and you can kind of be creative on your own and just move that shape around the 4, 5, and 1 chord. And you can do that for any song, especially if you want to make it country. So once again, if you want tabs for this song or any of the songs on my channel, you can find that on my Patreon, where I also have backing tracks and chord charts and all sorts of cool stuff. So join me there. If you liked what you saw and you want to see more stuff like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. Once again, my name is Alex, and this is AJR Music. I'll see you in the next one.